You are doing
Yeah.
yourself a disservice if
Mm.
what portfolio is like some past work and you know you've gotten better at that. So you need to really, really share your work. Once you just look at it and like some things are like out of place, some things are not aligned, you just close it. It's like, let me not lie.
Hi, and welcome to another episode of the Spotlight Podcast. This podcast is for curious minds and aspiring innovators. We dive deep to discuss informative, inspiring, and offbeat conversations on technology, business, product, and innovation to supercharge your career. I am your host, Iwalola Shoboale. I'm a passionate advocate for insightful discussions that inspire change and growth. Our guest for today is Ayodeji Olagbaiye. He is a product designer who began his journey about 5 years ago and is an active member of a lot of design communities, actually. Notably, of course, he currently works as a product designer at Kuda Bank, but he's also a community advocate for Friends of Figma Lagos. And he's also building Tiny Type, a software for artists. And I know he's also building something else that I know he may not be comfortable discussing yet. He also has a degree in petroleum and gas engineering, which blows my mind actually, because I'm like, why didn't you enter oil and gas? But we'll hear more from him. He studied at the University of Lagos. So welcome, Deji. It's really a pleasure to have you here.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I'm glad to be here. I'm excited.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay, so we've had a bit of time already. This is actually not my first conversation with Deji. We have actually covered this topic a bit previously. So I'm sure that the conversation would even be more like interesting and ripe now. So I'm really glad that you agreed to come on the podcast to discuss this. But before we get into the main cocoa of the matter, we're going to be playing a little icebreaker. It's a card game that I don't know, came out from one side of my brain one day, and I'm like, this sounds interesting. And we'll try it. Hopefully, you would enjoy the game as much as I've enjoyed. I'm still currently working on the game. It's not like fully done yet, but it's a card game. I will share my screen now.
Okay.
Let me find it. Okay. I will share my screen with you and then explain the rules of the game. Please let me know if and or when you can see my screen.
Yeah, I can see the screen.
Okay. Cool. So I don't know. The name of the game is still work in progress. I have like two things I'm thinking about. One is called Techies Assemble. The other one I'm thinking what's the big idea, but I don't know if you're like my age range. What's the big idea? It's like it's not a BBC or something show. Like I don't know,
Yeah,
like
I've heard
yeah.
something.
So I'm
Yeah.
like, will I not be stealing the name? But anyway, it's just to bring like a fun edge, I guess, to our conversations and discussions. And it's just to like get you thinking creatively and just make it fun. Yes, some questions are a
Yeah.
little bit, how would I say, colorful, right? But they're hypothetical scenarios. Yeah. So the way it goes is you select an emoji here and then we'll turn over the card to show you what's underneath. And basically, it's a scenario that you would then need to answer. Yeah. So which emoji do you want to go for? We'll go for three.
Okay. First one, probably the ghost emoji at the bottom left.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Let's zoom in. All right. This is the scenario. Do you want me to read it out or would you like to?
Yeah, I can read that you're organizing a tech conference. What keynote speakers and panel discussions do you arrange to inspire attendees? Keynote speakers. Uh, okay, well, for me, I'm guessing probably a design conference, probably. I
Okay,
mean,
design
there are a lot of tech conferences. I mean, they're like most developer conferences. So I think I'll just like a design focused one.
Okay.
Probably the first one I'll probably do is, or the first speaker I can think of right now is having somebody like what's the guy's name? Daniel Abayomi. So he's currently a product designer at Meta, which is
Okay.
like Facebook parent company. I mean, so he pretty much started as like a product designer, like a tech company. I think he then worked with Braz. He worked with a few other companies before he got
Okay.
to Meta. And obviously, Meta is like a really big. So like, I think I'll just have him like just talk about like his journey
Okay.
from learning product design to getting into Meta, because I think that was like a really really big deal for you to like get into
Yeah, of
such
course, to be honest.
a big company. Because I mean, for you to get into a company like that, man, you have to like be really good at what you do. So like,
Yeah.
really really inspiring and like impressive feat.
Cool. Have
Uh,
you know if he's done any speaking engagements in the past story?
Well, I mean, so I've been to a design conference where he actually spoke. He gave a talk.
Okay.
I can't remember what the topic was about, but I think at least I know I've listened to him talk once. I don't know if it's something that he does a lot, but I think maybe if I probably reach out to him, I also do one. I probably reach out to him. Maybe it might be okay to do it.
Cool.
Working the speakers and panel discussions. Second one. So just to be inclusive, I definitely want to have like a female speaker, because I feel another problem
Wow. I'm sorry.
that
You said just to be inclusive, or are you saying that normally you wouldn't?
no, I need to be inclusive. So like another small problem that we have with a lot of these like tech conferences, I mean, it's mostly guys that are always talking. Like maybe they just take like maybe like one woman, or
Yeah.
like maybe
Just
they
a
have like a
sprinkle of a
panel.
lady.
Yeah, like they just add it like, oh, let's
Yeah.
not be like it's not.
As
Yeah, so
in,
but I think I definitely want to have like a female speaker to be one of the major speakers and not like at the side or something. So
mhm.
probably just talk about maybe some of the challenges with you know getting a tech career or getting tech as a woman, like maybe some of the challenges that you face. I think generally, I mean, with being a woman, I mean, I think in Nigeria, pretty much as the whole, like, you're not encouraged to even, like, after, like, all these, like, tech focused careers, like, they'll probably tell you, maybe just marry rich husband and your husband will open shop for you or something like that. So, like, yeah.
Oh my days.
I just have a talk about stuff like that. And also, like, be able to, like, inspire, like, other young women or young girls in school, especially, like, you don't have, there is no career that is too, that you cannot enter too much.
Yeah. Do you know, it's actually amazing. Whenever I just hear one Nigerian name, like in one far off like place I never even imagined, I'm always like, wow, okay, that means it's possible, really.
Yeah, it's possible.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
So
mean, just for you to just see people like yourself there, that,
yeah,
this is that person I can get inside.
yeah.
Then also one more. I mean, so now with the creation of AI, right? We have AI this, AI that. AI is pretty much embedded in almost everything
It's
that we
Paul
do now.
Graham that should come
Yeah,
out.
everybody's adding AI to their product offering. I don't understand. So like I think I'll probably have somebody that probably works in the AI field come and talk about
Okay.
what are the benefits and how like you can aid your work as a designer. I know there's also been a
Yeah,
lot of talk
nice.
about like yeah, AI will come and replace our jobs, but I don't believe AI will replace our jobs. So like
Yeah.
just come and talk about the benefits and like how you can like utilize AI in your day to day and how you can like speed up your workflow and stuff like that. So yeah, I
Nice.
think
Actually, now it's
that's
sounding very
pretty much
interesting. Are you sure I want to attend this conference, please? When is it happening?
you should talk about organizing
Yeah, this actually sounds really interesting.
it. Yeah.
Awesome. So what next? Okay, let's just do one more. I don't want us to go way over time. So which other card?
Yeah, so the one that's like an alien head, so the one on top of
Oh
the
yeah.
clown. Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
that one.
Ooh.
You're organizing a tech startup pitch competition. What criteria do you use to evaluate and select the winning pitch? What criteria will I use? I mean, so like you're trying to determine the business that is viable, the one that you feel like has more potential,
Mhm.
and the one that can serve majority of Nigerians, right? So I know that obviously one problem that we have is a lot of Nigerians don't have disposable income, right? So I mean, a lot of people might have like great ideas for like products or services, but
Honestly,
people just cannot
I
pay
just know your markets.
for
Like,
your business. So like, yeah. So if it's like a product or service that I feel like, almost the average Nigerian, like you don't have to be like super rich to be able to afford and like you can serve as many Nigerians as possible or as many people as possible. I'm not saying Nigerian. Yeah, I feel like, I'll just use that. Okay, this is a business that I know that can do very well and yeah, the winner now give you investment and 5, 6 years or something.
awesome.
One big
Actually,
company will come and buy you and I made my money. So yeah.
As in, God, please. I mean, so I'm looking for that perfect investment that will just invest
Yeah,
100K
so that
and get 1
and
billion
5 years,
naira
it's like
next
10
year.
billion.
Oh
Like the
my
pay
days.
stack, like the pay stack thing. So yeah,
Honestly, like that's what I'm looking for
yeah,
right now.
yeah. And I just retire and just
As in,
I'll buy one nice house somewhere by the beach or something and
you
just enjoy
get,
my life.
and they just be
Yeah.
going for conferences and talking about, yeah, just try and find that right community investing.
And be traveling and just like just be
Yeah,
living soft life. Yeah.
honestly. If anyone has, the scoop for me about, and is there any company or business you're building or product you're building that can invest 100K and I'm guaranteed 1 billion naira by next year, please just let me know. In fact, the way I'll fling the money at you. Awesome. That was really fun, actually, Deji. Thank you so much. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
now we'll be going into the topic of the day. We're talking today about designing your UX portfolio in 2024, and I felt Deji was like the perfect person to discuss this because I've actually had a prior conversation with him, and he has a lot of gems to share. But before we get into the topic, Deji, could you please introduce yourself? Is there anything I haven't covered about you? Is there any secret information we don't know?
All right. So yeah, thank you, Iwalola. So yeah, just to introduce myself, my name is Ayodeji. I'm currently product designer at Kuda Bank. So I've been a product designer for a couple of years now. Originally started as a developer or like a front-end
Hmm,
developer. So I learned, HTML, CSS, JavaScript, a bit of React. I mean, it was fun while it lasted. When I found design, I just realized that, I preferred designing to, writing code. So like I've just been designing ever since.
okay.
Yeah,
Awesome.
so I think that's pretty much it. I don't think I have any extra. But I mean just like personal stuff. So I like watching movies, I like, listening to music. I like art pretty much like, so I like this like art galleries. I like,
Wow, are you serious?
yeah,
What
like
do
one
you
of
put? What do you
those.
put this? Yeah, like, do you know? I still don't
Yeah,
understand that.
behave like one of those rich old men that just be working and be like, and this is very captivating and like, just tell the artist that you want to buy the art for like $1 million and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, I just like, I just like that people are able to like create, like something beautiful just in their mind, like something that doesn't exist. Like someone just wakes up one day and like just create
Yeah,
this beautiful painting and everything just coming from your head. So I like that, people are able to do that, like create something from nothing. Like it's really, really mind blowing. Like you just looking at some of the stuff that they do, I just be wondering like, how did you think about this thing?
yeah,
Like that stuff that really like, interests me. So yeah.
yeah. I honestly really envy like artists. I can't even
Yeah,
draw
I
a
really
house.
do.
I cannot draw a. I can't even draw it. Like if I have to draw a human being, it's a stick figure. Like I'm terrible. Like I don't. Honestly, I really envy artists. So
Yeah,
you
I really
mentioned that
do.
your background is front end. So are you one of those designers that are front end engineers hits now?
Well, currently, well, I don't know, Sha, but I
Think
mean,
about it very well.
thankfully, thankfully, I think I work with front-end developers that know their work. So like we haven't really had a lot of like friction. And
Okay.
I think also for like developer handoff. So the way we do developer handoff at Kuda, I think for now it's like an efficient process. So we don't really have like a lot of like, back and forth or like
Okay.
maybe the front end developer, maybe a case of what I designed versus what
Versus
the
what was delivered.
what the
God,
developer did, all those things. So like also another thing that we do is even when the developers are done, like we sort of just look at it like do like a small design audit to make sure that everything is
nice.
the way
Yeah.
it's supposed to be and like nothing is out of place. But generally they do a good job. So like
You are speaking from
I
a place
really a lot
of
of
experience. I'm sure
yeah.
you
So
you you design something. Maybe the radius is 10 degrees. They will go
yeah,
and
like
design
I've
you
been like
like
I've
what?
worked in a place where like what the developer creates and what was you just be like, are you sure you did
Like
that
that.
design when you were doing this thing? Like I'd be like
Oh
you
my
are
gosh.
doing your own design or do your own.
Honestly, their own
But
interpretation
yeah,
of your design.
yeah. But I think also I mean some the design developer process or handle sometimes there can be a bit of like friction. Like maybe we don't give them the all the let's say like assets or like
Okay.
information that they need, they can make mistakes. So I mean
This conversation.
sometimes the problem might be from your side, sometimes it might be from that
Should
side.
I enter this conversation? Because I've seen people saying, who is meant to give the assets? Is it the developer that is going to go
Oh,
and bring out all
the
the assets?
designer is meant
Is
to
it the
give
design?
the
Sorry, I know I'm not a designer, but that actually just all makes sense to me. Like, I don't know why.
yeah.
Why is it the developer that is expected to go and start
I mean,
digging into?
because the developer just comes to like Figma to like look at what
Yeah,
I'm doing. So you are the one like okay, they don't really have like edit access, right? They can only view, so they can't really like do
exactly.
anything. So
Yeah.
if you need to like export anything, or you're the one that will do it, and say okay, these are the icons, or these are like the illustrations, or something like that. So yeah, I
So
mean,
please, if you have heard
doesn't
this
take
here,
time.
I
Just
don't want
like
to hear this
export.
conversation on my Twitter timeline again. Designers are meant to hand off all assets to
Yeah,
developers.
just
Thank
hand
you.
over. Like, it's not a complicated process. Yeah, so.
Yeah.
And
Awesome.
right now, said there are like plugins that can help with stuff like
Oh,
that.
nice.
So really, there's no excuse. It's
Yeah.
just maybe just lazy or something.
Abby, maybe you are just lazy. Awesome. Thank you so much. So,
Yeah,
what are you currently reading, watching, listening to? If you want to be like, you, what do we need to be
yeah.
watching and reading?
Reading. Well, for reading, I read a lot of like articles on Medium. So around different topics. Sometimes like design related. Sometimes just like maybe like personal stuff or like life updates, stuff like that. As far as watching, so I'm currently watching this series called Fallout on Amazon Prime. Yeah, actually,
Okay.
it has been really good so far. I have a lot of like shows on Netflix that on my watch list, but I've just not had time. But yeah, I want to watch this Three Body Problem. I've not watched it yet, but
I'm
yeah,
same.
it's on my list. I had a really good shot, but yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I need to be in the zone to watch it.
Yeah, actually, I feel like I need to probably like when I take leave, I'll just take my time and watch everything. Yeah,
I love that.
I'm preparing time for my leave so that I can enjoy
I
my
love
leave very
that.
well.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this actually, that's one problem I have with taking leave. I don't want to just take leave and not have a plan. Like, I want a well
yeah.
curated leave period. Did you get?
I mean, sometimes it might just like feel like you just want to sleep most of the day or
Mm,
something. It depends. But yeah, I'm just like stockpiling all the things I'm going to be
like,
doing. So that when I'm on leave, yeah, I'll just that every day I have something to do or something to watch or
as
something to listen
in,
to.
there's
So,
nothing worse than taking leave and being bored.
yeah, actually,
Yeah, awesome. So, how did you get into UX design? So, you mentioned, the switch from front
yeah.
end. So, okay, why did you
Yeah.
even get into front end? Then, why did you now make the switch?
Yeah, so I mean, okay. So my initial reason for like even like wanting to get a career in tech at the time was just like trying to like switch jobs and like sort of like prepare myself for like the future, right? So like I think at the time where I was working a sales job at the time, and I was sort of like trying to figure out what the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years is going to look like for me because I felt like as an introverted person, a sales job is not very ideal. Like it's not something
Was
that I felt like I would I would thrive in for that long, right? So like it's just something that I felt like, okay, let me just do it for now, like get something else doing. So I think I googled or I went to Google one evening. I was like, what are like the skills that are going to be relevant in the next couple of years, right? So coding was actually on top skill like time. So I was like, okay, let me try to figure out, if I can learn this coding thing. And like at the time, if you're on Twitter, you see a lot of developers making noise and like, oh, I just built this code that I just created this website. They just paid me like 2 million for this thing. You'll be making noise, making noise anyhow. You just be feeling
so
like
you're just seeing dollar signs. You're like, no, no,
yeah,
no,
like
no, no. This is
money,
making
like
sense.
these people are just like the arrogance are just
Yeah.
so I was like,
And
okay,
they
let's
actually seemed on top of the world. They seemed like
yeah, they feel like they are like
aspirational.
superstars. Yeah,
Yeah.
they are really superstars. But yeah, so like I then decided, okay, let me learn this thing right. So I quit my job. I actually quit my job and like I signed up for a camp, right? So a lot of boot camps right now. There's like Treford, there's I think maybe a Decagon, then a couple of boot camps that you can go to learn different skill sets. So you could never like only coding. You could also be like product, being a product man, product development, being a like maybe like product marketing manager, data like there are a ton of careers that you could like go into, right? So I just said, okay, let me learn content development, right? So I did that for about 3 months. Did that for about 2 months. Go on internship, like a really small like startup, right? I mean, I say really small startup, like I mean like we were like 4 people in the office, right? It was just like young people, right? So basically, what we just did was
Wasn't that trial by fire?
so maybe what we just do, like clients who just reach out to us that maybe they want a app built or designed, or they want like a website. So like we just be the ones to implement it. So at the time, we didn't have like a designer on the team, right? So I was like the only like I was the only person on the team that seemed to have like an interest in design, or like because for me to even like code and build up a website, I had to go to like people and be and to look for like designs to like create. So it just seemed like I had a good eye, everything like that. Like I had a good eye for like design. So the head of the start was okay, since it seems like after but I'm one that knows what the best design to go with. Let me be the design guy on the team, right? So
Wow, even as an intern, that sounds like a
yeah,
lot of
even
pressure.
yeah, at the time, I mean, it was a small startup. But me, I was just happy, like, oh, I was finally trying to like get
Okay.
into the field. So I was just like, I was just happy to learn pretty much.
Okay.
So I started designing, started by recreating design that I liked on Dribble. Right. I mean, I'm so like doing the course of doing that, I just realized, oh, I really enjoy doing this more than enjoy writing code. So I was pretty much like the designated designer, right?
Okay.
Then also I just kept practicing. I'll post like my designs on Twitter, I'll post like some of my designs on LinkedIn, get some good comments, get some good feedback, on how I could maybe like make them better and stuff like that, which was good. I mean, that's one thing that I pretty much like about like the design community. Like even when you're starting out and like you're posting your work, it doesn't have to be perfect. Like it doesn't matter, even if your design is bad, it's fine. Like nobody's expecting that, when you're starting out, everything is just going to be shiny and everything is going to be clean and everything. And people will just give you feedback and say, oh, this is a good attempt, but this is what you can do to make it better. And you could maybe they can even I mean somebody on Twitter paid for a Udemy course for me just because you saw that, oh, this young guy seems to be really interested in this thing and that's
Wow.
supposed to really work. So yeah, I think the design community is very helpful, especially to newbies, right? So during the course of doing that also, there was another virtual internship that came up by this company called Venture Garden Group, right? Deji, the office is somewhere in Kenya. So I applied, I got in. The internship was going to be for 3 months also. So pretty much going to be learning like a structured learning program, right? I did that for 2 months. At the end of the 2 months, we do like a final project presentation of everything we learned, and I did that with some other people. I think at the time we are about 100. Yeah, we were like 100 at the time, and like at the end of the presentation,
100 interns.
I mean, so like it was like a virtual internship. So all of us were
Oh,
just like in a
like
Slack.
I was wondering how that would have looked like. Yeah,
All of
okay.
us were just like in a Slack group, and like like every couple of days, I think maybe like 3 days in a week, we just have like different sessions with like the some of the employees of the organization, and they just run us through different topics, and then they'll give us like an assignment to do. We should have to do, and then come back and submit and present and explain why we did it like that. So it was really like it was just like as if you're in school, pretty much, right? Then after the
It sounds really,
presentation,
really great,
yeah,
actually.
it was actually a good program. Yeah, it was actually really good. So like after the like 3 months after the presentation, they now gave like a few of us. They gave 4 of us. I Kingsley, Stephanie. Yeah, 4 of us. They gave 4 of us like full time roles to come and join the company. And like I was like
Wow.
super
Out of
excited. Like,
100
oh,
people, no, you must
after the
have been
100 people,
amazing
like
then.
I was feeling on top of the world. Like I was like, my guy,
Honestly.
like. But I mean, so one thing I just like about myself, right? I feel like no matter the situation I find myself in, I feel like I can always like persevere, and I can always like pick myself up and like if I put my mind to like okay, I'm going to learn this thing. I'll actually do, like it might take some time, but that eventually I will start getting no right. So so after that, got full time roles. Yeah, so like got into the company with the probation period for the first 6 months. That was also successful, and I pretty much just stayed at company for like 2 years. Yeah, about 2 years. So I work primarily with a edtech startup. So the company is like a holding company, like a big company that has like startups under it. So like startups in different fields. There's like fintech, there's edtech, there's avtech, aviation. Like there are different industries, but I work primarily in the edtech startup. So it's called EduTech Global. That was like the name of the company, EduTech Global. And there for 2 years. A lot of learning, a lot of I think working at a company pretty much just refined my design skills, right? So I mean, you're allowed to make a lot of mistakes, and when you make a mistake, you just get feedback. So we are like a design lead, like somebody that has been designing for like 5, 6 years. So we was able to like be the one to like correct like your little mistakes and stuff like that. So that first 2 years, I feel like that really like refined my design skills, and then after being there for 2 years, finally decided I needed something more challenging because I feel like at some point of your work, you feel like your work seems a bit maybe
Yeah.
like repetitive or it seems easy, like your day to day is almost like the same. It doesn't really seem like
I think
you're doing
creatives
anything
are,
new.
yeah, creatives
Yeah,
always
like
want
it's
something new.
yeah, like it just seems like it's the same thing, like it's nothing like yeah. So I'm not saying I wanted like a completely different field, right? And like because
Oh,
at the time fintech, especially in Nigeria, is like a really big industry. Like a lot of people are going to fintech and everybody's doing payment solution and this and that.
and then ending up
Um,
selling it.
and I mean, so I feel like there's still a lot to do even with like the payment space in Nigeria. Like with something like cross-border payment, for example. Like
Yeah.
okay, we have a lot of apps now where you can send and receive money, you can pay bills, you can maybe you have like a card feature, virtual card,
Mhm.
physical card. But I think as far as like being able to send money to other countries, being able to receive money, that's still like a space that a lot of people are still like getting into, right? So yes, I saw an opening for a product designer role on LinkedIn from Kuda at the time. I was like, okay, let me apply. And also I've been using the Kuda app even before that. So like I just
Okay.
like, Kuda was like my primary bank at the time, right? Because there are a lot of things that we're doing that just made things convenient, right, for users. So like maybe things like you wanted to get a new card now, for example, right? In most traditional banks, you would have to like go to the bank, you would have to fill a
It's
form,
as
and you're
in
like, yeah, pretty much
wait for
giving
them
them
to freeze
details
the
that
card, change the
yeah,
password,
yeah,
then the
they're
last
giving
day the
them
network
details
is
that
down.
they're giving them details that they already have. Like I trying to fill a form and they write my name and some so like you have my name, you have my
Yeah.
information already. So it just seems like unnecessary and like we could have like you once you make a request on the app, you can just go and pick up if you want, or you could have a dispatch command bring the car to your house. So like a lot of stuff was just like convenient and easy. So I was like, okay, let
Mhm.
me apply to this space, did an interview, did an assessment, did a culture fit interview and all of that, and finally got an offer, and I was like, super excited. Accepted the offer, got in. So I've been at the company now for about I think June. This June will make it 2 years. Yeah, this June make it 2 years. So, I mean, it has been like a really fun and challenging ride, but mostly fun because we have like a dedicated design team, right? And
Okay.
I absolutely love design team. Everybody's very very supportive of everybody else, and we have like weekly reviews of everybody's work, and like if you're having a challenge or anything, you could always reach out, and like people give you like ideas on how you can do this, how you can do that, and like it's just like a really great team. We are about how many are we in design team? Like about 14.
Mhm.
Well, about 14, 15. Like 14, 15, sure, but yeah, it's really nice working environment and everything like that. We're fully remote, which is great. So like,
Oh,
I
like
don't have
the
to deal
icing on
with
the cake.
I don't have to deal with like Lagos traffic and all of that. So
Yeah.
like it's really nice job to just wake up and like go to
Yeah.
your desk, go to your computer and just like start work and not just worry about I need to rush, I need to leave
As
mass like
in,
6 a.m.
I get to work,
Big
you're
traffic
tired
and all of
already.
that. Yeah, and like when you're coming back home again, you have to do
Ah,
traffic again. And it's like
Yeah.
Please, so like as I'm right now, I don't think I can even like do a job that requires me
I think once you've
to be on
tasted
site.
remote,
Yeah, once you taste that remote, you can
yeah.
for them to get you back in the office, they have to pay you like maybe like
As
10 million a
in,
month or something.
even then you still be annoyed.
and
Yeah.
and that going back to the office maybe like only on Fridays or
As
something, maybe
in,
like
maybe once or
Monday.
twice a week.
I
Max.
cannot do Monday. Oh, no, I
I
cannot do
swear.
Monday. Yeah. So
Awesome,
yeah.
awesome, awesome. Any regrets? Any regrets at all? Would you change anything about the way you did all
So
this?
any regret? So I feel like yes, well, not exactly like you regret like that, but I feel like I would have started a lot earlier than I did. So like maybe I think during NYC period, I wasn't
Okay,
really like doing much during NYC period. I mean, I was just like focused on like my PPA work, but I still had like free time. Right. So I
okay.
feel like knowing what I know now, I've
You
always
have
just
started.
gone to go and
Okay,
tell myself during the NYC period, like immediately after school, pretty much like go and start learning design. Like I won't have even bothered with like and with software development. I just gonna tell
okay.
myself like, guy, go and start learning design. Like I open YouTube now, start learning UI UX or something like that.
So wait,
I feel like
going to the oil rig was not in
it was not like I feel
your
like to be
own
honest, like
vision.
I've thought about it. Like I feel like
Okay,
even if I did work as a bachelor engineer, right, and I stumbled on design as a career path, I feel like at some point I will have still want to make this switch. Right. So I
okay,
mean as much as making money is nice, you still want to do a job that you actually enjoy doing and like, something that you have like something like you have a desire for. So like if I was working as a petrol engineer, it would pretty much just be for money.
mm,
It won't be like a job that also this is like a fun, exciting, like I actually
yeah,
want to be doing this. It's just like okay, they're paying you well, so let me just do it. I
yeah,
mean I've been at an oil rig for when I was in uni and I was doing like IT. I did go to like an oil rig somewhere in Warri. I think it was even more big. Yeah, it was like on a really big ship. It's called an
okay,
FPS, so floating. So it's called, but it's called floating something. But
okay.
it's basically like a rig on the ship. So like there's a really long pipe that connects from the bottom of the ship to like the
Feel like,
ocean bottom.
oh
Yeah,
wow,
and that's where like they drill the
okay,
oil and stuff. I mean, it's not a bad job, but like it's a lot
hmm,
of like physically
demanding working.
taxing, yeah, physically demanding work. So like you are going to get very sweaty. You are going to get very tired. Like I
Yeah,
mean, the reason why they pay you is because the work you are doing is not like a
it's not
small,
easy. Yeah,
it's not an easy job. So like
yeah,
yeah, so I feel like even if I was working as a personal engineer, I would have probably still want to like so I'm a creative person. So like at the end of the day, I would have still wanted to do something creative,
mm,
whether as a side thing, whether as a hobby. Like I would have
yeah.
still been yeah
Maybe,
tilting towards that
maybe
side. Yeah.
don't petroleum companies need designers too? I mean, you have the educational background, you have the work experience. When they need to design
Yeah, I
some
think
machines
well, I
or
mean,
something,
I
something.
think they do actually. I mean, so I mean, most of them obviously they have like a website. They
Yeah,
have like I guess like they put out like maybe like social media
I'm sure they will have some
posts.
dashboards
Yeah, they would have. So
somewhere.
maybe not even like as a full time, or maybe even as a contract, but like yeah, some of the software that they use, obviously
Yeah,
somebody has to design it. So like
yeah.
yeah, so yeah,
So you can
yeah.
consider that now. Go and check out
Maybe yeah,
new
maybe if I see that
some of
Chevron
you.
is
Yes, now
looking for a product designer, maybe
they won't have to be
uh,
explaining one thing, hydrogen
yeah,
gas, or whatever.
they'll just be like, this guy has
Yeah,
background in
now.
study petroleum. Let's just offer
Yeah.
him 10 million a month. Yeah, I'll take
You
it.
get that
That's
10 million a month. I swear that's like
it.
the same salary that's right, like my same dream salary right now.
Yeah, so I will take it.
Yeah.
The least I'll manage 8 million a month, but yeah, my target will be
As
like
in,
10. Yeah,
honestly.
I'll manage it. Yeah,
Awesome. So when you were telling us about like your story,
yeah,
how did your portfolio like factor into it? So you talked about how you applied, so you got the internship
yeah.
at Venture Garden Group. Did you have to build a portfolio when you were doing your boot camp? So when did you even start realizing that you need a portfolio? Was it instrumental in any way getting you like your internship and then your job at Kuda Bank?
Okay, yeah, yeah. So when at the time when I entered Venture Garden Group, so it was really just the final project that I did and presented that got me in, right? So at that time, I did not really need a portfolio, right? So that as
Okay.
somebody that is just like starting out, they don't really expect you to have like portfolio, but you sort of need to have at least something that you can show that just sort of explains or just shows your thinking and like your
Mhm.
problem solving skills and also like your UI design skills. So they want to see how your design actually looks like, right?
Okay.
But then after working at Venture Garden Group and wanted to move to another company, wanting to, do a jump change. That was when I now realized, oh, now I need to have like a portfolio, right?
Okay.
So at the time, just because of I wanted to just have something quickly, I just put my portfolio on Notion, right? I just had
Okay.
like a mini portfolio on Notion that had like I think like 2 or 3 case studies at the time. Yeah. So then I applied to Kuda. I mean, so we could obviously from you want to see that okay, this person actually, you know, has the skill set that we need. So you don't necessarily need to have like a um maybe like a fintech or like a payment like product that you have worked on previously. Although it and
Okay.
it gives you like obviously an advantage over other people. But at the time I didn't work in like a payment I didn't work on like a payment product at the
Okay.
time when I got into
Yeah, it
Kuda.
was edtech,
But yeah,
right?
yeah. It was mostly a tech, yeah. Yeah. So
So was your portfolio just like your work at Venture Garden Group?
yeah, yeah. So at the
Okay.
time it was just mainly my work at Venture Garden Group. Yeah.
Do you still have that
I was just
portfolio? Or you've changed it already?
I mean, maybe if I look for it, I might find it. But right now, I moved. So right now, my portfolio is going to be on Figma. So I basically moved from Notion to Figma. Yeah, from Notion to Figma, but now I'm moving to like Figma. Yeah,
Okay. And thinking back to your first portfolio, what do you
yeah,
wish you knew then that maybe you know now that you think would have probably given you a bit more of an edge?
around it. Yeah. So at the time, I mean, so I think one of the mistakes or one of the things I just pretty much did at the time it was like when writing the case study, I just put a lot of like information. Like I basically put like almost everything that we did. So I put a lot of raw content or a lot of raw data, right? So like let's say for example you do user research, right? And
Mm-hmm.
you send them maybe like a survey link, right? So like I put like all the questions, like all the questions I asked.
Link to the
I put
survey.
like the responses. I put like the so like when you send a form with Google Forms, right? It shows you like maybe like a breakdown. You can
Mm-hmm.
say, oh, 50% said yes, 50%
Mm-hmm.
said. So I think for recruiters, they don't necessarily need
Mm-hmm.
every detail, right? What they need is okay, you did research. Why did you do that research? And then what were the research insights? And like okay, from the research insights, how did that now like influence the final design or the final solution? So you don't need to like actually put like every single thing that you
Mm-hmm.
did. So because you just make your case study look cumbersome. Like yeah, obviously from your own perspective, you just want to show that yeah, you did this work and like you want to show how much effort you put into like this case study and trying to figure out this feature, this new
Yeah.
application, this new product and stuff. But like recruiters don't have a lot of time to read through your
Calculating.
cases. So they don't need everything. What they need is like the important stuff, like just
Mm-hmm.
put like the important stuff that influence your final design, your final solution. That's what actually needs to be there. So I think at the time I would have just made my case studies really long and
Mm-hmm.
cumbersome stuff that show like every single thing. You stayed up to like 11 p.m. You
Mm-hmm.
did this, you did that, you did everything, you did perform, you did persona. So it was more of just like ticking boxes of like, oh, this is all of this have to be my case study. I have to put persona, I have to put that I did research, I have to put that I did wireframe, I have to put like I did small style guide, I have to put so it's more of like feeling a, like my case study process was like a formula pretty much. So like
Like you
almost
thought
like
it
maybe
was
if I
a
had like
specific formula
yeah,
that you had
yeah,
to
yeah. So like even if I had like 2 3 case studies, the sort
same
of look the
steps.
same. Yeah, sort of look
Okay.
the same. And it's not possible that every single product that you work on are going to use
Mm-hmm.
the same process. Like that's never possible. Right? So like
Mm-hmm.
I feel like knowing what I know now is to
Mm-hmm.
write the case study exactly the way that
Yeah.
that product was done. Right? It's not about like, oh, this has to be there compulsory. It's
Mm.
not if the user persona did not aid in like the final product, the final solution, there's no need for it to be there. If
Yeah.
maybe there was no time to do wireframe, then just put it there. Like don't put it there that you do wireframe. That there's no need. It doesn't matter, right?
Mm-hmm.
If no research was done, or maybe you did like guerrilla research because maybe there was
It
no
wasn't enough
time
time. Yeah.
or there was not enough time put it there that
Mm.
that was the research that you did, or maybe like based on like analytics of like users using the products, you're able to figure this out, figure that out. Or maybe there were drop offs at this point,
So you
right?
knew something
That
had
was
to
like that
change.
was yeah, something had to change. Maybe like we have to improve the onboarding process, we have
Mm.
to improve the stuff like that. So just write it the way the product was actually done, and not like
Mm.
formula. Let me put
Yeah.
this, let me put here. So
Yeah. So would you say that's like the mark of like an experienced designer versus like a
yeah,
beginner
yeah,
designer?
actually, like I feel like I think also it's not really the fault of the
The
junior designer
beginner.
or lead
Yeah.
designer. I think also like for people that maybe go to a boot camp, that's what they are taught,
Yeah.
right? Also, if you read a lot of case studies on Medium, right? So Medium, I mean, for me, they don't really like fact check stuff.
Okay.
Anybody's allowed to like write.
Of course, yes.
So
Like a
if you just go
person,
to
of
Medium
course.
and you read like 2, 3 case studies, you sort of feel like, oh, because this person did this, let me also do it.
Yeah.
Right? And you need to understand like every project is completely different. So like you don't have to feel like, oh, we have to copy somebody else's work. I mean, you sort of take inspiration from the way they outline or lay out the
Okay.
case study and just make it easy to read and easy to digest. But to feel like, because the person puts user personality, put, you don't need to do stuff like that. So I mean, you can easily tell when you see this kind of case study, you can tell that, oh, this person is just he's just starting out, or this
Mhm.
person is new. So you
Yeah.
expect this sort of mistakes. But yeah,
Yeah. So actually, now that you're saying this, thinking about it, so actually, if you're learning anything in general, you start from somewhere. So you start to usually
yeah,
maybe the formula that somebody has used in the past, and then
yeah,
after that, you
yeah,
start creating your own way of thinking about that thing. So
yeah,
I guess what we're saying is that not necessarily that because your portfolio follows like all these steps that they taught you in your boot camp, that doesn't mean that
yeah,
it's that doesn't mean that there's no value there. It just shows that you're still
yeah,
learning,
yeah,
basically, right?
yeah,
Just like a baby that's trying to learn how to walk and there isn't a walker. After a while, you leave the
yeah.
walker and you start walking once you're,
And you start doing, yeah, yeah,
yeah, yeah, awesome. So, did you mentioned how like recruiters don't have much time looking at your portfolios? Did you see this thing on Twitter where somebody posted a CV that had like all sorts of rubbish in it, but because it had like some metrics? Did you see that?
Okay, I think I stumbled on that. Yeah,
I'm not
yeah, the guy
joking.
said he just created like a random,
Some part of it he
like
said, oh, he was playing with his puppy. I'm like, and I promise
but
you,
they
I
won't read
looked at
it.
that CV. I thought I looked at it in depth, and I didn't spot all those things. Wow,
Yeah,
it
yeah.
just
So
really shows
I was really shocked. So I was not like, so even all that, even like take our time to try
you
to create
get,
CV. Like I'm not even.
yeah.
It's
So it
very,
just
it's a
really
bit
shows,
annoying, but yeah,
yeah, it just really shows what you were explaining, that recruiters don't have time, and even from your perspective, like
yeah.
recruiting, you don't really have much time, right? You probably have like a few minutes. You're looking to like maybe at
Second
minimum
concept.
100. Do you get at minimum
Yeah.
100 CVs? And you're like, where do you or portfolios? Where do you even start from? So, what would you say are like the key things? Let's say you have 30 seconds to look at
Few
a
seconds.
portfolio.
Yeah.
Yeah, what are the key things you look out for in a portfolio?
I mean, to be honest, I will look at visuals actually. So I feel like as long as because I mean, you get better with like UX as you walk, as you go along pretty much, right? But I feel like nobody wants to now like have to ask somebody that they have to do a lot of hand holding for when it
Especially
comes
with
to
the
like
UI,
UI.
yeah. I'll
Yeah,
be
when
like,
it comes
oh,
to
this thing is not at
like UI.
90 degrees now. Can't you
Yeah,
see?
because like that would just create like a lot of like back and forth and a lot of
Yeah.
confusion. Like, okay, you have to go back and do this again. Because
Mm-hmm.
I feel like once your UI is at a certain level, and you could just get better with UX.
Okay.
You're working with a team, right? Based on feedback, based on maybe
Even the
doing like
product
usability
manager,
testing.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. You guys will figure out how to improve the product, how to improve the experience. But I guess let you and be decent enough. So I mean, one of the first things that will catch my eyes. Okay, the UI is good, right? Like if the UI is good, I would then want to read more. But if the UI is not good, then like there's like no point.
Mm-hmm.
You can hire somebody that is just learning design and make a lot of mistakes. Like it won't even matter whether the case study was
You just
actually
be
good.
seeing
Like
maybe
yeah,
the
like
colors that I don't clash.
yeah,
Yeah.
once you just look at it and like some things are like out of place, some things are not aligned, you just close it. It's not like let me not like it's not to
Like
be
this.
it's not to be wicked or anything, but you just know
Yeah.
that this person still needs a bit more time
Okay.
to learn. Like you're not at the stage where you can like actually like work and like actually like build out a or
Mm-hmm.
design a product. So like one of the first things visuals. Once the visuals are good, okay, let me now like maybe read it a bit and see some other information. So, I think so. Yeah, visuals one, and then just the way you pretty much lay out your case study. So lay out the information like, okay, maybe you start maybe like a problem, challenge, and like, okay, this was what I wanted to do. This was what I then did, and then this was like the result. So like just very digestible,
Okay.
case study, nothing too cumbersome, nothing too robust, and like the language is very simple. So like you have to write and this is just a mistake that I have made in the past, right? You write your case study in a way that the average person can understand,
Okay.
not to write your case study, with technical terms or technical words that you feel like, oh, everybody in your field already understands, right? Because it's very possible to just write it with your thinking that okay, everybody understands certain words, everybody understands, but really and truly, you have to understand this is just your own field, right? We have terms for certain things, and the average person outside does not know all these things,
Mm-hmm.
right? And the mistake that I've made. So you have to be the language on your case that is very simple that
Okay.
the average person comes and reads it, they can understand that okay, this was what the problem was. Maybe they noticed that for onboarding the information they were asking users was too much and users were dropping off at a certain page. So now they now like changed it, made it easier. Like, okay, once you answer like two questions, you have entered the application and then
Yeah.
maybe subsequently they ask more
Mm-hmm.
questions and maybe they do questions. So just made the
Yeah.
process for onboarding easier. Like very simple, very
Mm-hmm.
straightforward, not like you start using CBN said we should put this and like
Then now
everything
attach
like
the CBN circular.
you now attach like you now put everything. You put
Oh
like
God.
maybe you put like screenshots of like your Slack messages, you put the managers where you're discussing like everything now be long.
Oh
Like
God. Okay.
there's no need for all of
Okay.
that. So yeah, so I feel like all the visuals are okay. The layout, the way you lay out the information, and then the language you use to actually write the case study. All those things are good. I mean, 10 over 10, you are in. You get a call from me
Serious.
for sure.
So
Like,
in terms of the length, do you think like so I can see that you're leaning
yeah,
towards like a shorter, more concise case study,
yeah.
right? But do you think there are other recruiters who may want to really dig deeper into like, and if
So
that's
yeah,
the
so yeah,
case, do you think there's value in maybe, I don't know, having like a shorter case study, and then if you really want to go and look into everything, here is the longer
yeah.
version.
So I feel like yeah, good question. So I mean, like I said, every project is different, right? Some projects might not require you to do a lot, right? Which is interesting. But there are some projects where maybe they even span like months, or maybe like something you're working on for like a year. So
Mm,
like that might be a bit long. So that might because you might need to like explain a lot of things, right? Which
mm,
which is understandable. But I feel like as long as you don't make it too or maybe like like a tiring read or something, like maybe you don't
mm.
make it exhausting in a way,
Okay.
right? I
Okay.
feel like it's fine, like okay, maybe you just explain start this project January of 2023, and like
Mm,
we did this. I remember when we were done, we did testing for like 1 month, and then we realized, oh, you don't understand this part, and like we have to go and redesign it, and then so I think there's a way that you can write it that it won't be exhausting to read, and like people don't understand, okay, this is why that to be very long, maybe this was like the version one, and when they did the usability testing, like a close set of users, they realized, oh, this thing that actually was not going to work, and they went to go and change it, and then this was the
mm.
new thing, this is version 1.2 or version 2 and
Yeah.
stuff. So like yes, you can understand why it needs to be that long. Yeah. So I mean, it just depends on the project. Every project is different. So some projects might require a bit more like explanation, a bit more breakdown, which is totally fine. But just
Okay.
don't make it like 10, 20. So I think right now we just don't want a lot of text, right? So that's like
Mm-hmm.
text heavy. Doesn't mean you shouldn't explain stuff, but like
Mm-hmm.
just make it just simplify the language as much as you can and break down. So even when you're writing the case study, right, you don't just pack plenty text together, but you
Mm-hmm.
just like have to read all these things. So maybe you can break it down and maybe
Mm-hmm.
put some videos on that, write
Yeah.
more text, some videos. So it's just easy to like break down,
Mm.
easy to read. But we just pack like plenty text,
Like
maybe like for
10
the first section
paragraphs.
of your maybe like the first section of your case study, just put plenty
Yeah.
text, and then at the bottom you now put all the visuals. I think you can sort
Yeah.
of mix it. It's easier to read, and yeah,
Yeah.
it's like
So I think that the thing is that a lot of designers have probably realized that their portfolios actually have to be designed. So that's why there's a problem. Like the
yeah,
fact that you have to consider the fact that nobody is
yeah,
reading paragraphs. You actually have to design it. Every like sentence you use must be valuable, right?
yeah,
I feel like that's one of the things that maybe when people think about designing their portfolios, they're like, come, I beg, this thing, I think you wait for like another few months. How long
yeah.
how long has it been since you updated your portfolio?
How long? Actually, I updated recently, like
Okay,
2 weeks ago. Yeah,
okay.
like 2 weeks
And
ago. Like I still have some updates to make. I'm not even done set, but yeah,
okay. How
I feel like
often would you say
I might use
sorry,
how
you feel
often.
like you may use?
I feel like I may use probably like to the rest of the month, so to like or
Okay,
maybe it might even spill to next month. But yeah,
yeah. It's a lot
let's see
of
how it
work.
goes. It's a
Yeah.
lot of work. Yeah, so I
So
feel
how
like the mistake, maybe not a mistake, but like I feel like as I was working on certain project, I should have started writing the case study then. Like
mm,
as I'm working on it, like I just sort of like update. So I feel like instead of like finishing a project, I mean at the same time it really depends on time, right? But I
mm,
think it might be easier and even better, like so as you're working on a
your
project, just
mind is
start
still
writing the case
fresh and
study. So
everything.
like it's sort of like yeah,
Yeah.
just updating. That will like actually make things easier.
But that sounds
And
like
even
a
for me,
dream world,
yeah, sure. But
like in
even if
the
it's just maybe
ideal
like the
world.
weekends, like at least because
Okay.
the memory of what you just did is still fresh in here, so like you
Mm,
can just write. Yeah,
yeah,
so rather maybe like waiting to be done and then
yeah,
writing like that when you now start acting like from the beginning. Okay, they got PRD,
yeah,
and you're already like tired because maybe the
yeah.
project is like maybe like more to do. So like now, and you might have forgotten some stuff.
Yeah.
Like
So
you
maybe
have to
forgotten
start
some
working on it,
trade-offs that
start
needed
writing.
to be made,
Yeah,
things
as
like
I'm
that.
working on it, it's best to just start writing, or maybe just at least just keep the information somewhere. Then maybe when you're
Okay.
done, you can like
And clean it
refine
up.
it and
Ooh,
make it
great point.
smaller. Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Great point, actually. So you're saying, yes, you may not be able to like design that case study perfectly immediately, right? But
yeah,
just have some doc somewhere where you're documenting
yeah.
everything.
We are
Then
documenting everything
that's
that
a
you're
great,
doing. Yeah,
great, great point,
yeah,
actually.
yeah.
So would you say there's an optimal like period to like update your portfolio? Like should you update your portfolio maybe once a year or I don't know, every six
Yeah.
months?
So I feel like it's based on like the projects that you're working on. So I feel like as you work on newer projects, right, that you are proud of and that you like, you definitely should
Okay.
update your portfolio. So like there's no reason why in 2024 your projects and portfolio from 2022. Right. I feel
Mm,
like from then to now, obviously you have done newer stuff. Right. So
of
like you
course, yeah.
obviously but also I mean some of the stuff that you might have done, well, maybe like we have like external client work that's on the NDA,
Okay.
maybe to
Mm,
add it or like there should definitely be one or two things that you could just like update. So I
mm-hmm.
think with maybe every year at least, you should at least try to update your portfolio. So it's not like you just work. I mean, also as time goes by, as the years go by, your skills get better, your UI skills even get better. So like
Mm-hmm.
you want to be able to show your most recent work that showcases how good you are. You don't want to put like past work.
Yeah.
Obviously you've gotten better than that.
Mm-hmm.
Now the work you did in 2021 or 2020, you've actually improved. So you are doing
Yeah.
yourself a disservice if what
Mm,
portfolio is like some past work and you've gotten better than that because it might show that maybe you're not that good and you're actually like a lot better now. Or even like added new skills to your skills and maybe you've added like motion design, interaction design. So you want to also add that. they can see that, oh, this person can do different stuff. So yeah, I say probably every year, but also as you work on newer projects, right? Once you're done like a new project, you feel like they are proud of, you just add it to add it to your portfolio. So yeah.
Okay. So do you think that someone who maybe is like a newbie designer, or just like
Yeah.
you had your portfolio from Venture Garden Group that go into Kuda Bank, is there is there any realm of possibility where you could have gotten into Kuda Bank without maybe your portfolio from Venture Garden Group?
Mm, to be
Like,
honest, I don't.
my question is it possible to get a job as like a designer without having
Yeah,
like a, I don't know, at least one big
portfolio of
project
case study.
portfolio? Okay, yeah.
So maybe as an intern or as like a junior designer, right? So I mean, you don't necessarily nobody really expecting to have like life projects, right? So I mean,
Okay.
if this is pretty much you just trying to get your first job, right? And you've not really done like past stuff, it's totally fine. Like, but you should just have like one. I mean, so even if it's like a fictional project, like fictional
Okay.
product, you should just have like one at least one case study or portfolio. Just I mean, it's just to show the way you think pretty
Mm,
much. So what they really want to get is like your problem solving skills and like your UI design skills. So like even if you're like getting an internship, just have like one project that you could just at least when you're
mm,
speaking with recruiters, you can just like showcase it and say, oh, maybe if you were to design this product or maybe this is a product that you enjoy using, right? So you decide to add a new feature that will
okay.
make the experience better for you or better for
Mhm.
users a lot. So like you just to showcase that okay, this
Yeah.
person can think like
So
a
do you think that
designer.
can actually get someone a job? So someone approaches you, or someone creates a Kuda Bank case study, they say something like,
Yeah, I
oh,
mean, so yeah,
part is
if it is something
scratch.
impressive, yeah, yeah. I mean,
Oh,
something
really?
impressive, yeah. That could
Okay.
possibly get you at least even if it's like get you an internship, yeah. But like,
Okay.
there's a way somebody does something like it's kind of impressive, like that will just get the person like a foot to the door. So like they'll be like, okay, you can come and work with us for like 6 months and just see how we do our work and stuff. Yeah, yeah. Actually,
Nice.
some people do some impressive stuff online that we actually see. I mean,
Yeah.
so like once in a while we post stuff on Slack that maybe we see online. It could be like maybe LinkedIn, it
Okay.
could be Twitter, it could even be Instagram of like people just doing like put about designs or like
Okay.
doing a design where they like add a new feature that they would like to see. So like some of the stuff I
Mm,
just oh wow, we like the way this person is thinking. So yeah,
interesting.
you
Let
never
me,
know.
where's my dream company? Let me go and do case study.
Actually, that's actually like a good way to get noticed. So like I know people that maybe they did like a redesign of a company's like product and maybe like posted it on LinkedIn or posted it online and maybe like tag somebody that worked there. Or even like maybe some people do cold email where they just like send an email and say, hi, my name is so and so, this is what I do and like they just show the work and maybe if they're lucky they might need that role at the time. So they just reach out to you and say, okay, you can come and
Nice.
join us. Or just because they like what you did, they can just
Okay.
say, okay, just come to our office and they just allow you to work for like even just for a period of time just to gain some experience. So yeah, some people have gotten jobs like that actually. Yeah.
Nice. Nice. Interesting. So you talked about the three things that like you think every portfolio should have.
Yeah.
When I asked you about what are you looking out for if you have only 30 seconds. So you
Yeah.
said amazing visuals. Like
Yes,
you
very
cannot
important.
sacrifice on the visuals, right? And then you talked about non-technical jargon and then the portfolio being concise, right? So what would you say
Yeah.
are like maybe like the three things that if you see it, you're just closing portfolio. You're just like, nah, sorry, this is not it.
Yeah, so three things. I mean, so one definitely the first one would definitely be the design not being like even like to a decent level. So like, if I look at the design and like maybe the color contrast is not good. So like
Mhm.
if your design is even like breaking um basic design fundamentals, like just I won't even bother like because there's just no point because you just feel like this
You're
person is
not
obviously maybe
teaching this
still
person.
yeah this person is obviously still learning.
Okay.
There's even no point. So I'll just like close it. I'm like maybe next year or something. Like I'll give a bit more time to go and learn.
Yeah.
But the second thing would probably be maybe the way the case study stuff is portrayed, like the layout. So maybe like maybe you can put like I don't know, maybe the solution on top or something like it's not like so you can't really like top to bottom like understand okay this was done first, this was done, this one was done. So it just seems like maybe it's a bit scattered in a way
Okay.
like he's not
Doesn't look
you
well
can't just
organized.
top like he just like person
Yeah.
just puts like
Things.
patches something like that. So
Okay.
like just like patchwork. So just like yeah, confusing me. So like I have to do something at the bottom. They have to go back to the top again. Then I have to like come back. Like
Oh, gosh.
there's no
And
there's
it's
no
not
point. Like
maybe a
once I
game or something.
yeah, so I'll just be like I bet like, you gotta structure your case study properly.
Okay.
And then I think another thing that actually that I notice sometimes is something simple like typos, like your writing. So I feel like we did not take so I mean one important thing skill you need as a designer is attention to detail, right? So I feel like if there are typos, I just feel like oh that you did not read it, you did not go back and like scan through it.
Mm.
Even when you're done, you should just like go through it and make sure that everything is okay. Because I just feel like if you are not able to pay close attention to detail, even in your case study, something that you wrote, then there's always that possibility that if I hire you for a job, you're definitely going to make mistakes. So like you're just not paying attention to what you're doing. So that would just show me off a bit, right? So
Okay.
I just feel like you should have seen this stuff in what you did. So yeah.
Oh,
So yeah, I
okay.
think that would probably be my three things to be honest. I know that third one seems like
No,
it's
but I
actually like
actually think
important.
it's a
You need
very
to pay
valid
attention to
point.
detail. Yeah, you
Yeah.
need to pay attention to detail.
Awesome. Thank you so much. So,
Yeah.
I guess we can go into um so what's the next question? What's the best place right now to host your portfolio? Or is there a best place to host your portfolio?
That there really isn't like a best place. So you can use different platforms. I mean, thankfully right now we have a lot of like no code tools. So like you don't even have to like learn how to code to like create your portfolio. You can use Figma, you can use Webflow, you can use I think some people probably even use like WordPress. They
Mm,
also have that they also like there's also this thing, Semplice. Semplice is like Squarespace or Wix. So like it's like a website builder pretty much. There's also even this. I just remember Polywork. Yeah,
Only
it's
work.
new, but yeah, Polywork. You can just like create like a portfolio for yourself. So it's also a website builder, and they have like what they call blocks or like templates where you can like maybe like you can have like a hero section, you can have like a maybe like a contact page, you can have like so you just have like stuff that you can just pick and just like you to create. So like you don't have to like create it from scratch. You just select what you
Mhm.
want and like different designs. And maybe you can still like tweak stuff like any stuff, but like they just give you like at least a starting point to make it easier for you. So yeah. So I
Yeah.
mean it doesn't really matter. The platform doesn't matter as long as you don't want to make your portfolio site heavy. It takes time to load. So like
Mhm.
obviously I know that sometimes people put a lot of like, animation interaction on their portfolio because they want to make it as exciting as fun
Fun.
as
Yeah.
possible and show like my portfolio can do
Yeah.
this, can do that. While all that is nice and good at the same time, you have to understand like a recruiter is going to probably 20 or more portfolios in a day. If I go to your URL and like your portfolio is taking time to do, there's a possibility that they'll just like cancel it and put something else because they just don't have the time. It's nothing malicious, but like you really need something that will just load fast enough. So don't try to put a lot of
Like
images
I
or animation that just makes
okay.
so like think of websites real time, right? So like that's
Mhm.
something that will load fast enough that someone can easily just see your work and see what they need to see and move on something else. So like if your website is taking too much time to be also the way internet in Nigeria is not the best. So
Yeah.
if you have too many stuffs on your portfolio and the
Mm.
person that internet is not that great, just
Mm.
can be loading, and the person
But
doesn't
I
have
beg.
time. So you
The
just
person
move
just
on.
like
Yeah, you don't
type.
want something else.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that was also one of the reasons why I moved my portfolio from Figma to
Ah,
Figma
Figma is
because
notorious.
Figma will
Okay.
load when you
For
get to
it
play. And
to work.
invented is not good. Figma will actually not load up like
Mm,
that fast. So like nobody has time for that. So, like
yeah.
you can just use Figma, use React. I think Figma is like the most common website builder right now because I mean they
Okay.
offer it's fast and like they offer like a ton of customization, like a ton of
Okay.
customization. And also like you can design your portfolio on Figma. You can just like transfer like the plugin that they have
Nice.
where you just transfer it to Figma. So like you're
Okay.
basically just like moving to Figma and then you could just like tweaks and just publish it and like your portfolio. So like super easy process. So I feel like just off the top of my head, Figma would probably be like the best option. But you could explore, other options. It doesn't really matter, but just think of your website load and make sure it's not that'll take a lot of time. That you just do the seconds. Like you test it with like other people, like send them the link and say, how long did my portfolio open up and did you have
Mm,
any issues? Obviously, when you're done with the portfolio, have people look at it. You could have maybe other designers look at it. You could have other people outside of your field just look at it so that you are sure that there is no issue. Like
yeah.
when you now send it to recruiter, they now realize that something
Yeah.
is not working or something. Maybe
Yeah.
one of the
Or
posts
when I
works,
open
maybe
on
it didn't
Edge, the
publish.
thing is doing like this.
Yeah,
But
maybe
I
it's not
beg.
like you don't test on like different browsers and stuff. So just
Yeah.
make sure that everything is. You can that also ties back to paying attention to detail.
Mm,
Somebody that actually like putting effort into this thing. Not like okay, you just do the sharp stuff. You just assume that everything is fine. You actually like tested it and make sure that yeah, this thing is working well. So yeah,
yeah. So basically, everything, all the suggestions you made are right.
yeah,
Websites. So our portfolio
yeah,
websites like the basic standard now. Are they like the
yeah, yeah.
if you don't have a website, then you're plain.
To be very honest, like if you don't have like a place where someone can see your work, I mean, just like you can't just say you're a designer, right? You have to really show the work, right?
Okay.
Anybody can create LinkedIn profile. Anybody can create Twitter profile and say, "Oh, I'm a designer assistant." So I mean, people sometimes lie, right? Even on LinkedIn, right?
Mm.
Anybody can create a LinkedIn profile and put the designer.
And then go and steal some people's designs.
Yeah, put products that are Microsoft or put products that are Apple. So it's not enough to just say that there has to
Mm.
be a central place where I come and see your work. And even
Okay.
with that self, I mean, most time when you do interviews, you ask you questions. Some companies do assessments, so it's sort of like gauge, your skill set and make sure that okay, this person actually can design and like can
Yeah.
solve for person, not just like putting stuff in the portfolio that is not their work. Because people do that. People steal other people's work in the portfolio. So yeah, so you definitely need to have like a central place, even if it's just like a PDF of like some of your work. I think that also can fly in some cases. Some people have PDF, but ideally just have like a portfolio side. Yeah, ideally. Yeah.
So what about Dribble and Behance, the notorious two
Dribble and
twins?
Behance too. Dribble and Behance is actually okay. Some people, well, so I've seen some like job applications where they say, oh, they leave a link for like your Dribble or your Behance or your portfolio. So I
Okay.
feel like in some cases that could also fly, or in some cases at least that one at least let them say, okay, this person can I try design them? Maybe like maybe they'll give you an assessment, or maybe they'll give you like a portfolio presentation for you to come and like now talk about the design, but let them just see your work. So I think also that ties back to your UI skills just have to be top notch because
Mm.
that is what is even going to get you maybe like get a call back or get a call from a recruiter like okay they've seen your design is like decent enough, right? So some people don't mind dribble and Behance. Behance allows you to sort of showcase like a case study stuff
Mhm.
apart from just visual. You can also write,
Okay.
you can also put text and explain. So yeah, I think Behance in some cases is like even enough to just like get you a call from a recruiter. So yeah.
So now the question that's in our on our minds now is so, and you had mentioned when we're talking about during the game where you talked about how
Yeah.
AI is being used in design. Aren't there like AI tools, I guess, to help you write your portfolio? Like, can't I just drop the link to my Figma and say, please go and write my portfolio for me? Thank you.
I think of
Or write
right
my
now.
case study.
So yeah, as far as like using AI to write your case study. So I mean, unfortunately, like I don't think there's any
Oh God, I
AI
beg.
tool that can do that. And also, like the AI was not there with you when you were working on the project, so like
Yeah.
it can't help you to explain how
Mm-hmm.
you were doing it. Maybe I think what the AI can do is maybe like when you write your case study to a certain point, you sort of like maybe use chat GPT to like maybe summarize or like
Okay.
maybe ask you to simplify
Mm-hmm.
the language or ask it like just simplify it and make it easier to read or something like that. But as far as like say help me to write it,
Ah,
I don't think so.
don't,
Whether
don't
that
you think that's a promising product idea?
yeah,
Like
actually
across
if
tech,
somebody can
I think
figure out
everybody struggles with like creating their portfolio.
yeah, I mean like, if somebody can figure out the way that yeah,
And
you
I
have
feel
like
like should we tech
companion
people
that
we have money. Imagine if
wants
you
to
could
do
pay
like that
$20 for an AI to design your portfolio.
to write.
My
I
dear,
think people would make use of it definitely. Yeah,
honestly.
people would definitely make use of it.
Yeah.
Maybe you just feed it like maybe the case study video of the product and like maybe
Mhm.
just do like a quick summary and you just like
Yeah.
write.
That would be
I think
amazing though.
that's like a $1 million business. Like
As in, that would be amazing.
yeah,
Awesome. Okay, so just a few more questions.
yeah.
Do you have like okay, what would you say is like your most controversial opinion about design portfolios? So I mean, I think you've already mentioned how visuals are very important to
Yeah.
like you, right? Do you think that's like the most controversial thing, or do you have any more? Just help us to spill some tea.
At this point, just thinking about the controversial.
Like
Not
unpopular
really.
opinions about design portfolios. Like for instance, if you just say that design portfolios are not necessary now, I can just close this episode. In fact,
Because sometimes I just feel like when you're applying for a job, like they ask you a lot of questions. Just like just give me the job first. When you give me and like after like 1 month, you can tell. So like after like 1 month and give me work to do, you can tell if I can do the work or not.
I
So like
see
there's no need for like all this like interview
all
and like
these
that stuff.
extra
Yeah, like
questions.
just give me the job. And like after 1 month, you say, okay, this guy is doing well or it's not. So yeah, that would be my most controversial like opinion. Like
Yeah,
sometimes the process because I hear sometimes like people do um, interviews and like the interview like a 6 day process and like
I
you
saw
have to
that.
do
I'm
like
like,
multiple
see,
like what like after the first two like what else do you need to
like
ask
what
me? What
more
what
do you
other
want to
questions do
know?
you need? Like are
Six
you
interviews
asking me
is too much.
for
It's
my
too much.
blood type or like yeah,
See,
what else do you need?
no,
Like,
no, 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 no. Six
it's too
interviews
much.
is too much, and
It's too
I'm
much.
very sure they won't be happening. Let's say they won't happen in 6 weeks because they won't be able to go
Yeah,
with
so like it's probably over like maybe like 2 months. So like
God.
what's
What
that
kind
time
of
to the interview?
honestly?
Like
Wow.
I said the money is like some $100,000 per month. There is
And
no
in
need
fact, if
for
they will pay
that.
you for your time during the interviews, actually.
Yeah, like well, maybe that will make it like manageable. But in some cases, so like in some cases when they give, I don't know if this is something that we do in Nigeria, but in some cases abroad,
Okay.
when with some foreign companies, when they give like assessments and stuff, they actually pay you.
Oh,
Like if the
nice.
assessment might take a bit of time, so like maybe
Mhm.
they actually to like maybe like to do product or they just be like a fictional product design, right? And they give you like maybe like 2 weeks, 3 weeks to do it or something. They will actually like pay like a small amount of money.
Oh,
But then like, okay,
nice.
they're taking so they're paying for your time in the place.
Mm.
Like even if you don't
So
get
even if you don't
the
get the job, at least,
job and stuff, just for the fact that they took a lot of your time for you to
yeah.
do this, give you like a token, like okay, just take this, which I feel is nice. So
And
yeah.
if we start doing that in Nigeria, me self, I'll start applying for design job.
You just be applying, so at least you just get it on some money here
As
and there.
if,
Yeah.
imagine they are giving you
Whether you
50K
need the
per
job or not.
assessment.
Yeah.
Oh my days. Awesome. So yeah, now we wanted to we would like if you could show us like what some of the best portfolios you've seen. Since we're on video, you could actually share your screen and show us, or you can just tell for people listening, maybe the name of
Yeah.
the designer and the
Okay.
website.
Okay. Yeah, I think I can probably show that. Yeah, but I've seen some really amazing like portfolios.
Okay.
The all designers. So this is his name is Kuda, and this is just like a really like. So I like when people are pretty much just like creative, like he has like a currently playing. section where you can see like the music is listening to. There's a quick about me section, a photo of himself, experiment. So this is like probably like if you have like personal stuff that you just do like a personal project and then
Okay.
companies I've worked with, articles coming soon. So like I mean the way the portfolio is pretty much outlined, it's like box model. I would like put it here. So I just like I mean it's not something that you see all the time and
Yeah,
I
it's
like
very
that. So
different.
I have a special likeness to dark mode portfolio, dark mode websites, right? So I like
True.
when yeah, dark mode. And also he has like a find me, your
Mhm.
Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, just an email.
And he
Or
managed to
then
keep it in like one page. Like,
yeah, so every year, so that's another thing. So everything's one page, so that there's a lot of scrolling, right? I
mm,
mean, you could just see everything to see at once and like all the project and stuff.
mhm.
This is also by Nigeria. This is by a Nigerian designer, Ike Mini. So I
This
also
is
like
Notion.
his. No, it's not Notion actually.
Oh, it looks like Notion.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, it looks like it's gonna be white. Um, so like brief introduction. I am Susan. So working on this, cover up this, yeah, work that. Another thing also I also like is when people put their availability period. So sometimes you might see, available for work, or maybe you could see like available for work from so and so date. So like just let
Mhm.
maybe like prospective clients or recruiters know, okay, you are able to work from this every time. So now you can see unavailable to Q3. So like, for whoever might have wanted to work with okay, maybe you can say like a reminder like, okay, Q3, I can reach out to this person
Yeah.
as unavailable, and then you want to reach out to the person, you can just copy an email, copy his email, and send them. I guess the work that you need them. This is just an outline of it. So I mean, one thing you really want to do your portfolio is you want to put the work front and center. It's like you don't want the recruiter or like a prospective client to be looking for
For
examples
the
of your work. Let it be just in their face. Like once they just come, they just see it straight out and just start like
mhm.
bang. So like you can just see this case study and you can just dive right in pretty much.
Mhm.
Sometimes case studies could be in,
Building
work in
design.
progress. You can see case study in draft and all of that, which is
Mhm.
fine. Finding that what we are Jibu, just to see like some UI shots. I mean that UI is very important. Your UI being very good is what is going to at least get the whoever's coming to your site interested in wanting to work with you. So, it's very important that you actually show examples of like your work. I mean, so when you do an interview, you could dive deep
Mhm.
into how you came about it, but at least let the UI be good enough that it catches anybody's attention, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
Then also this one more person is he's a designer and developer, but like
Mhm.
I said, I like when things are a
Mhm.
bit out the norm and see examples of his work.
Mhm.
You can see like what each project looks like, which is obviously for them like desire to click it and read about it. Once again, UI shots very important. I mean, you don't necessarily have to have it, but it's just nice
Okay.
to be able to just see, oh, this is what this person is doing, because you just catches the person's whoever is on your site attention. Like, oh, this person
Mhm.
actually really good at what they do, and let's work together. So also your contact information is very important. So after you've pretty much like let's say won the person over with your design. Now you want to give them a means to contact you, right? So I want
Mhm.
to see your work, and then once I see your work and I like it, I then want you to reach out to you to say, "Oh, I would like to work with you." So maybe put your number, if possible, put your, obviously your email address, but you definitely have to put a way for people to be able to contact you immediately. Because once somebody sees your work and okay, I
They
like this
want,
person's work,
yeah.
how can I like talk to them? So just
Mhm.
give them that means to just quickly reach out to you. Don't hide this contact information under another. Let it also be
Mhm.
front and center like a portfolio. So yeah. So
Yeah.
these are just like some examples of like some portfolio that just blew my mind pretty much. So yeah,
Awesome. So,
really, really
you know,
nice.
I noticed something, and I like your
Yeah,
perspective on it. So the
yeah,
first and this portfolio, I can kind of I got a hint of the designers' styles. I got a hint of like who
yeah,
they are and kind of like their mood, right? But I didn't get that
yeah,
with the Nigerian designer. Do you think that for me, I'm ready if I was recruiting for a design job, I'm ready to hire that first guy. Like already. I liked the picture
yeah,
he put
yeah,
there. I feel like I know a bit about him. Even the music, like you
yeah,
said, I feel like I know a bit about him. I can see from
yeah,
this, right? His visual work is good. Of course, I want to look at the case studies, right? But if I
yeah,
had to select one person, I'm ready to go with number one. I would say the Nigerian designer. I can see he's capable, but I don't really know much about him. So, do you think
yeah.
that's
I think
something
also
that
it's
you
good to
consider?
add a bit of, yeah. So I understand what you mean. It's good to add a bit of personality to your um, portfolio. Also, like if you can, just add a bit of your personality. You could also post like, you have like an maybe have like an about page. Okay, he has an about page. You can look at that.
Hmm.
So like stuff that
Oh yeah, here now I do
maybe
get
you do
a better
maybe
sense
you
of
do outside of design, like stuff that you are listening to, maybe something that are just currently okay, like
it.
okay, you can see okay on repeat music, watching what is currently watching, what is currently reading. I mean you don't necessarily have to, but like just show who you are, like just like your
Yeah.
personality, like
Oh, I
outside
love
of it. Like,
this. Quick
yeah,
shout
so
out
I think
to,
this
I guess,
yeah,
friends, mentors. I really like
my
that.
friends, like yeah, people that like contributed to
Yeah.
him creating this out, which is nice. So yeah, I mean, I just like it just makes it less robotic and less, that okay, this is an actual person that
Yeah.
actually did this, and this is what the person likes, and this is what they're interested in. I mean, yeah,
Hmm.
it just shows that you're an actual person, and it's not
Yeah.
like
Honestly.
it's not AI that did your proposal, your case study. You're the one that
I
did
swear.
it.
I swear. I'd love if you could please share the links to these three portfolios so we can
Okay,
also
yeah,
share them
yeah,
with the
I'll,
audience.
I'll do that. Yeah.
Amazing stuff. So the next, virtually the last question was around what resources would you recommend to someone that's trying to build their portfolio? Are there any like I don't know, documentation or any things you think they should read or listen to before they go ahead and build their portfolio?
Okay, yeah, I could share this article on this popular Medium site. I actually even have it open right now because I was
Okay.
actually, yeah, it's actually very like informative on like some of the things that recruiters look out for and like some of the issues that people have in their portfolio. That yeah, it's very very. I think everybody should. I posted it on like different different WhatsApp group I'm in, like designer group I'm in, and I posted it on Twitter because I just feel like everybody should read this like article. So, like when I read that, I was like, oh, this is like
Okay.
mind blowing stuff. I'm like, this would be very beneficial to, especially like a lot of like junior designers as to why you probably are not getting a call back or a call
Mhm.
from when you're applying for. Yeah, I'll post it.
Fantastic
There's
stuff.
also another one on LinkedIn. Maybe I'll post that after. But yeah. But this
Okay.
this article is like really, really great. Like it's
Oh
definitely
yeah,
like
actually,
something
I
that
saw this. I saw this a few weeks
everybody
ago.
should read. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I want to assume most people have probably stumbled on it or come across it by now. If you're a designer, you should have probably seen it. At least if you're online, if you haven't, you should
Yeah.
definitely read it. Definitely.
Awesome. I mean, it's UX Collective. I feel like they're always sharing
Yeah,
valuable
they're always
information.
sharing. So I know that so I know I mentioned right, like a lot of information is not fact checked, but for US collective, I mean the articles are actually like really good. So even if you don't for a lot of people as a designer, even if it's just like UX collective articles you're reading on Medium, it's enough. So like they always make sure that a lot of work into the article that they put out. So yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Deji. Like, I think you've shared a lot of valuable insights on this call. I don't
Yeah.
see anyone like listening to this and not having a solid, like, you know, idea of where to start with their portfolio. So thank you
Yeah.
so much. I would say final words, any advice for anyone, like any people that are trying to get into design, or maybe they're in design and they're having like a hard time right now? Any advice?
Yeah. I think right now, because of the way the job market is, I think it might feel a bit, will I say, discouraged. I think at the time when I got into design, I think that was when like design or like the tech industry was just like, coming up, and like there was lots of like opportunities, and like, like this booming industry.
Mm-hmm.
So I know recently there have been a lot of news about like layoffs, especially in like tech companies and tech roles specifically. But at the end of the day, people are always building new products, right? So people will always need developers, people will always need designers, people will always need product managers. So like even if you are feeling a bit discouraged, either about entering or maybe you're already there and like you are finding it difficult to maybe get your first role. I mean, so you don't have to like eventually you will, right? It might take a bit of that the time to like get your foot in the door, right? But like don't like you discourage. Like another thing you could do to help yourself is as you're learning or as you're like designing stuff or like just building stuff, even if it's just like personal projects, you're just like a designer, like a project that you like, you did a design like a new product with a new feature, you can just post it online. So you need to really, really share your work. That's actually like a very important. But I mean, if no matter how good your designs are of Figma, nobody knows what you're
As
doing. Nobody
in,
knows your work. Yeah, your design is just on a laptop.
yeah, it's only you
Like
that knows that you're amazing.
yeah, it's only me a lot of that know the
Yeah.
designs that do. So like post it on Twitter, on LinkedIn. There are a lot of like sites now for designers to showcase their work. There's like Dribble, there's Behance,
Mhm.
there's layers.com, yeah, layers dot something. There's like with CV, there are different platforms. Like I mean, if you are consistent with posting your work, definitely. I mean, even if it's just like without hitting you up or somebody send you a
Mhm.
message to say, "Oh, I saw your work on this. Are you
Yeah.
open to?" We have an opening at our workplace. Are you open to this or that? I mean, and you just get your first job from there. So, like,
Yeah.
might not really be like you apply. Sometimes the opportunity just come because either somebody has seen your work or somebody
Mhm.
can refer for you and say, "Oh, I saw this guy's work somewhere. I saw this girl's
Mhm.
work somewhere." Like, the person will reach out to you and say, "Oh, are you open to that's opportunity?" So it's very, very important that you share your work, right? So
Mhm.
even if it's taking months for you to find something, as long as you're pursuing your work, eventually, I can guarantee you that eventually something will come up. So like I've gotten gigs from Twitter just because somebody saw my work and just said, "Oh, hi Deji, are you available for something?" And I just got the gig from there. So it's very important. Share your work. Don't leave your
Amazing.
doing your design. Don't leave it on your laptop. Please share
Yeah.
it. Even if it doesn't even mean like you have to like on the screens or like the full
Mhm.
thing, but like just share
Maybe
like
one
some of
really
like
cool style of
yeah,
button
like
that
maybe
you designed.
like a few screens and say, "Oh, this is what
Yeah.
I'm working on right now. Work in progress."
Mhm.
Just like yeah. So just definitely just share it. That's very important. Share
Yeah.
your work. So
Yeah, it's an exciting time actually, I think, to be a designer. There's so many
yeah,
opportunities for design right now. And I mean, like you said, yeah, it probably looks like, I don't know, a very competitive field, right? But
yeah,
yeah, even if there are badass designers out there, they can't do all the design work. So
yeah. I'd be like,
you two will get the chance to
and
until you
yeah, they
also
can't work
become
for
badass.
all the companies in the world. So like definitely
Exactly.
opportunities are still there. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Awesome. Thank you so much, Deji. I've really
yeah.
enjoyed this conversation. Is
I
there
enjoyed it.
anything you'd like to add or we good?
Not at this point. I mean, so like I have as you said in the beginning, I have like a startup that I'm kind of working with somebody. I'm excited about that. So as time goes on, we'll put down more information about that. But yeah, I don't have a lot to let's say, like shoot now, like to showcase now. But like
Yeah.
it's still like a lot of things are still like early stages. But like as most stuff comes on, I'll starting to put it out there. So yeah.
Awesome. So if you're listening and you like to like get to know more about Deji, you can delve in. Like the fact that
Pardon,
I'm
yeah,
purposely even try to use that word. No, sorry if you don't know what I'm talking about. Just go and join
yeah.
Twitter. I
You
can't
need, you need
explain.
to be on Twitter to understand all these things. Like you actually need to be on Twitter to,
Yeah.
and Twitter is actually also a place for you to follow. So you can also follow like experienced designers. So Twitter allows you to like meet people in other industries, meet designers in from Apple,
Yeah.
Google, different companies, and
Honestly,
sometimes
I
they
feel
talk
like
about their work.
mm-hmm,
Sometimes they even show like sickness of like so, and you can also like ask them questions. Maybe if they are willing to answer it at the times. Like it's very important that you are in a how will I put it, like a social space that has other people in your
mm-hmm,
field. Like you really cannot do this design work and just be like in your room in your house.
mm-hmm,
You're not
mm-hmm.
online, you're not on LinkedIn, you're not anywhere like
Yeah.
that. So please join a design community, whether on WhatsApp, whether on Slack. There are a lot of like designer Slack groups that are free. You just sign up to join and like they let you in. You can ask questions, share your work and get feedback. Sometimes they post jobs. So like you just need to be part of a community and you just need to be online to be active. It's
Mm-hmm.
not in your room, not on your laptop all the time. You need to be
Yeah.
out there. Even
Yeah.
if I can, I am an introverted person, but still you need to like still put yourself out there. It doesn't mean you have to like talk every day or be very
Mm-hmm.
social, but just continue to be active. People need to know that okay, at least this person is a designer, so
Yeah.
you cannot do this work all on your own. Don't be able to
Yeah.
like that. Yeah,
And one thing I've seen is that aside from like the capability, like the technical capability, people are also
yeah,
hiring based on like how well you fit into their team. If you, I
yeah.
guess,
Like just based on your
are the
personality.
kind of
Yeah,
person you get, if you fit into their work culture,
yeah,
because and then how would they know that about you? So aside from the interview, the things you tweet about, things like
yeah.
that,
What you talk
what you
about?
say in
Yeah,
the
yeah,
community that you're in, so awesome stuff,
yeah.
Deji. Thank you so much. Before I start asking another question again, let me just wrap it up here. So we'll definitely link Deji's Twitter in the show notes, and then you can just follow him
Yeah,
there. His handle is Deji Not
yeah,
Dope. Awesome.
yeah, yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Deji. And that wraps up another insightful episode of the Spotlight podcast. A heartfelt thank you to Deji for sharing your experiences on how to build a solid portfolio. For our listeners, whether you are a beginner or an experienced product designer, I hope you found this discussion helpful. And before you go, please feel free to send any questions you have or tell us, who you would like us to bring on the podcast next. We have a link in the show notes. And yeah, don't forget to give us a rating and follow us on social media. Until next time, this is Iwalala Shoboale signing off. Thank you.